Hello, I'm Robert Shelide, Chief of Police for Shelby Township, and welcome to Straight Talk. Today, my special guest, Deputy Chief Jason Schmiller. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Chief.
We had our big awards ceremony the other night at Palazzo Grande, and your son was the star of the show.
Yeah, Jacob was, you asked him to play last year. He put a lot of practice into it, and he pulled off what most people can. He did a great job.
Yeah, he's 6 years old. Played the national anthem on his guitar in front of 250 people. And I made a promise before the night started that I wouldn't cry. I'm an emotional guy, and things, I watch movies, I cry all the time. Just the way I'm wired. And when he was up there playing it, I had to fight back the tears. And just incredible.
He was very proud to play it for you. He was proud that you asked him to play, and he played it for our men and women of the department. That was a big celebration for us.
Yeah, he looks like a little rock star. I know you and your wife are very proud of him.
We are.
So great. Our awards banquet ceremony, we do it annually. We recognize our police officers for the great things they do during the year, and we invite all their families. It's a big deal.
Yeah, this was your vision years ago. We didn't have this before you came here. Before, we used to just have a small little get-together, hand out the awards, and we didn't share with our families. And you saw it differently, and I totally agree with you. It was a great thing we implemented, and I hope we continue to do it.
When I worked at Southfield and Detroit, the shift lieutenants would pass the awards out, period. I never saw a big boss come in and give an award out. And then I think I got made acting deputy chief sometime around 2013, and the awards hit my desk, and normally they'd go to lieutenant, and I said, no, I'm passing these out myself, and the secretary was surprised. I grabbed my two sons and went around to the different shifts and read the awards off and shook the men in the hand, and my son shake them in hand, and it's a big deal, very important.
The officers earn it, our staff earns it. We need to recognize them, and it's special when we share it with the families and our friends.
I agree with you. As far as I know, we're one of the only police departments around the state of Michigan that does anything like this. I'm very proud of that. I know that other departments, or at least one of our neighbors, is trying to catch up, if that makes any sense. But we all owe it to our specific benefactor, Mr. Gene DiAugustini, who takes care of this for us each year. And Gene is a special friend of Shelby Township and of our police department. And
he's in attendance every time, and yeah. I'm so proud that he shows up and supports our department the way he does.
I agree. It's a big deal for him to be there. He doesn't need to write the check. He comes, he brings his significant other, Kim, and they sit there, and I watch them. They pay close attention, and at the end of the night, tell me what a wonderful evening they had, and they're special people.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our the Metro Detroit Police and Fire Bagpipers. So, to me, they're synonymous with police funerals. When I worked with Detroit Police Department, it was one funeral after the other. You hear these guys come up, playing the bagpipe, playing Amazing Grace. I can't keep dry eyes. I've been crying. So the crazy part of the story is, even though that I'm not at a police funeral, when I hear that, I automatically want to start crying. Do you feel the same way?
It takes us back. It's chilling. It's meaningful. And yeah, I feel the exact same way.
Yeah. No, these guys come every year. They drive from the other side of town. They don't have an hour and a half drive to get here. It means a lot to us that they show up.
It means everything that they show up for us. And Officer Nobelsdorf that works with us, he's special, and he's a participant in the band, and we're very proud that they show up at our event. They don't show up on many.
I agree. I couldn't be more happy with them. Our own honor guard did a great job presenting the colors while Jacob was playing the national anthem, and to start the night off, it was incredible.
It definitely sets the tone for the night. When our honor guard takes the stage and the band started playing, yeah, we knew it was go time.
Now, you're supposed to be looking out for me, and you sat there for years letting me stutter and try to read these awards and MC the event, and it was a complete disaster. And I think it was you that came up and said, we need to get rid of you and have a different MC. And I was like, really? That's the best thing I ever heard. And I'm pretty sure that or if it's the other way around, I think I need to get rid of myself. And you said, let's bring in Nick Monticelli.
I'll take credit for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said, let's bring in Nick Monticelli. And Nick has totally changed the whole vibe of the ceremony. Wouldn't you agree with that or not?
He does. You know what? That's his wheelhouse. And he brings a lot of energy to the event. He's very respectful. He knows that these officers are humble and our staff is humble. But he does a great job of talking them up and making it a big deal.
The best thing I could say about Nick at our ceremonies is he's got a presence about him when he takes that podium. He's got a presence, like everyone knows this is his thing. He's running the show here, and he's extremely well spoken, and I really think he's elevated our ceremony to where
no
it is.
doubt about it.
Yeah. Shelby TV, what they've done with the videos. Once again, back a few years ago, I'm up there trying to read the words, and I'm not a great reader. Reading it out loud, I talk fast and stumble over words, and our big award winners would have me up there stumbling, and I think it was Stacy, definitely wasn't me, that came up with the idea to do videos and make videos in advance for the big award winners. What are your thoughts on that?
The videos at the end, they're awesome. You're not the type of speaker that can get up there and just read verbatim. You speak from the heart, and you're very emotional. So when you do that, we're all over the place, and we're like that too on many things.
Yeah.
So I think the videos keep us focused. It puts all the attention on the work, and when they implement the body cams and all those things that go into those videos and their words and their peers talking and everybody else, it's special.
Yeah, a couple things. Miss Wendy Barth from our Detective Bureau, our superstar secretary and property officer who manages our property, did an incredible job going through all the raw video through the course of the year. I think all she had to do is dig up Nick Sinistai's body cams and pull up all the
highlights.
Yeah, all the highlights.
Right.
And she gave all the video to Stacy, and Stacy put it together. But if you notice Stacy's videos, they're not just videos she does. She's done it right here from the heart. She puts TLC behind her work, and it's special when it comes out in front of our families. And I got to tell you, I kept looking at her in the back. She was dancing back in the control area and having a ball. And this is as much celebration of her work as it is our officers' work. Do you agree with that?
I agree. And when you gave her props for the night, she just kind of disappeared off in the background. And again, she's trying to be humble about things, but our peers who were there, the other chiefs that were present, everybody goes back to the videos, the families. I love them.
Yeah, I agree with you. The videos are special.
And what you don't see is on that Sunday before, when I took Jacob for a sound check, there's a full crew here from Shelby TV.
Yeah.
Ron Mix from our department had his cadets there. There's so much work that goes into this thing that most people don't see.
Yeah, a profound thanks to Shelby TV. We love you. I know you've heard me say this multiple times. All my colleagues are jealous that we have Shelby TV. I mean, I think some of these other communities have, their own little TV stations, and nobody does the work they do here, but it comes right from here. It's the TLC that they put into it, and it all starts with Stacy and her crew and Nick, and we love it.
It does. We don't take them for granted. We are extremely fortunate.
Yeah. So we had a countdown video for the first time tonight. For the first time the other night. It was called the Hype Video, and it was incredible. And it got everybody pumped up for the night and everything. It kind of set the tone, and once again, all the credit to Shelby TV and Wendy Barth for giving the information. What did you think of the Hype Video?
It was fantastic, and everybody was watching the countdown, and once the video started playing, everybody was engaged. Everybody's attention went to the boards, and everybody was watching the video. And you heard the reactions from the crowd.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
I loved
awesome.
it. So talking about all these different things that happened during the night, these wonderful things at our A+ ceremony, the highlight for me personally was when the Utica Van Dyke tow truck driver, Mark Slaska, was recognized for his incredible work he did at one of our police runs where 2 of our officers were assaulted, and they were in a defenseless, helpless situation. Mark jumped in, subdued the perpetrator, held him down. 2 other officers were able to arrive, and we were able to recognize and honor him. What were your thoughts on that, DC?
I was so happy that him and his family came to the event. We were honored to, I wanted to present the award, so I actually had to push Nick aside, and I was honored to read that award and say a few words from the heart, because a lot of people say they have our back. He showed us he did, and we're forever grateful.
Yeah, and like I said, he had a standing ovation, and I looked at his mom and dad and his brother, and they were glowing. I think Mom had tears in her eyes. They were glowing with pride.
That's not an easy crowd to impress.
No, I agree.
And they were all on their feet, and they were all cheering and howling.
I agree. So hopefully this amuses you. When I was growing up, I was born in 1968, so 89, 90, a little conscious of my height. I was 5'10", and I remember looking up. The average height in the 90s for American male was 5'8", and and I tease my buddies like I'm 2 inches taller. So I don't know what happened in the last 40 years, whatever. But I think nowadays 5'11" or something is the average height. And when you and I are up on the stage, and some of our officers come up there, or some of our better officers, these kids look like linebackers. Okay, I mean they're like, I can't even. I'm looking up like at them like this, and they're one after the other, and I can't begin to tell you how proud, because they're not just using their size. They're out there in our community every day, representing our police department, protecting our community. And when I saw that, like, quote Captain Barnard, a big officer never hurts. You remember he said that before?
Oh, I do, and I recall the exact moment on stage when I looked at you and we started laughing.
Yeah.
There was no way anybody could see us because that whole row of guys in front of us.
These kids are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", going across, all with broad shoulders. They're all wearing this badge right here, our patch, and they're out there representing us, and I couldn't be prouder. And like I said, it's not just appearance. There's substance behind these kids.
Absolutely. They certainly represent our pillars.
Stacy Bell has some great footage from our award ceremony. Please take a look.
Present arms.
The Shelby Township Police recently celebrated the outstanding work by their department at the annual awards ceremony.
Our department's a premier agency implementing the best practices, community service-oriented, prepared, professional, teamwork, all with pride. Those are our 4 pillars. We don't need an accreditation ribbon for that. We know it. This awards ceremony was the Chief's vision, a night to celebrate and recognize our accomplishments with our families and our friends, like no others do, and we thank you for that. My friend, mentor, and Chief, Robert J. Shelide.
In 2003, I tested for sergeant, and you go take the written test. I did really well, and I really wanted to be a sergeant. I looked around, there was 53 guys that took the written test. I finished 3rd on the written exam out of 53 people, but you got to do the oral. Like, what's going to put me ahead of everybody? Like, what can I tell these people that's true that they're going to believe? And I looked at them, and you know what I told them? I said, if any of you had sons and daughters that were police officers, you would want me supervising them. That's what I told them. Now, I ended up finishing 1st overall, and here I am with a staff of 115 people. And these men right here, myself, Lieutenant Hogan, Lieutenant Dowdy, our team, we watch out and look out for our team. I can tell you that right now. We watch out for the young men and women of these police department. And I don't want to say to a fault, but it's probably true. And I've been carrying this around for 20 years, and we will always watch out for the men and women. And that's your families, your sons and daughters and husbands, and we're talking about. So please keep that in mind. I'll finish up just a couple more things. The Shelby community is incredible. Rick tries to, I shouldn't say try, gives the police department a lot of credit. Let me tell you who gets the credit is the community itself, the people that live here and the business owners. I've never seen anything like it. Everyone cuts their grass and takes care of looks out for their neighbors, and this community watches out for each other like nobody's business. There's hardly any violent crime at all. And when a violent crime does happen, I don't know why they come here, because they lose every single time. Thanks to Lieutenant Hogan. Him and his team that he's built, they jump on it exactly like I'd want. And they know how I want it done immediately. No waiting around. You get out there and you catch the guys. And I can tell you right now, I mean, like in my 9 years, we've maybe had 15 violent crimes and 14 people are in prison, okay? And the next case, there are like 8 or 9 of them all going away on one. So that's the community right here. And our police department just responds to what our community wants, okay? They want law and order, and we give it to them. And as long as I'm the chief and these men standing behind me are my support staff and with me, we're going to give it to them. We're going to give them law and order.
I really do appreciate this unique opportunity to address what I think is, not what I think, what is the best police force in Macomb County. the state of Michigan, and as far as I'm concerned, in America. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and I just want you to know we really do appreciate it.
The 2023 award recipients were recognized in a variety of categories, which included years of service, letters of commendation, and meritorious awards. A powerful moment during the event was the presentation of the Civilian Hero Award.
On September 9th, 2023, officers were dispatched to a felonious assault involving a caller's vehicle being shot at with an unknown weapon. Officers investigated the situation that led them to an address on Clear Spring Lane in the township where the suspect vehicle was located. While the vehicle was being impounded, the subjects associated with the address became resistant to officers on the scene. Mark Selaski from Utica Van Dyke Towing, he was the driver that was with us that night. The operator of the tow truck dispatched to that address at the time. While officers were attempting to take two subjects into custody on the scene, a third suspect ran and attacked a sergeant and officer. That resulted in serious injuries to both. Mark Selaski observed the escalating situation in the attack. He took immediate action and restrained the individual that assaulted them. He stopped it. Mark Selaski remained in control of the suspect until backup officers arrived. The immediate and courageous action of Mark Selaski undoubtedly prevented additional escalation of injury to all parties, our officers. For this, he's presented with the Civilian Hero Award. Now, what's important here is a lot of people say they have our back. A lot of people say they got our six. You showed us. Thank you, brother. We'll forever thank you.
Folks, Mark Selaski is a Shelby Township hero. Trust me. I promised I wouldn't cry, and I'm not gonna, but if I would cry, it'd be right now. This man's a hero.
Detective Lieutenant Terry Hogan.
And next, a prestigious honor for a special man. With 25 years of service under his belt, Detective Lieutenant Terry Hogan received the Chief's Award.
His work, influence, leadership, and guidance also allowed our newest detective to gain an incredible amount of experience that they will use for the rest of their careers. And because of this, our department will reap the benefits with a stronger detective bureau moving forward. For his oversight, leadership, direction, and dedication in this investigation, Detective Lieutenant Hogan has earned the Chief's Award for Excellence. Congratulations.
Michelle Jerzak is the driving force behind the annual Police Awards. And because of that and so much more, she was awarded the Non-Sworn Employee of the Year.
She's extremely competent and capable. She handles all her duties and responsibility at the highest level. I've never heard her complain once.
This is Michelle.
This department is like a second family to me from the minute that I walked in to the door. Everybody's been super welcoming.
Shelby 911.
Kelly Donahue received the 2023 Communication Technician of the Year. Shelby Township's comm techs are an essential and crucial part of the law enforcement team.
And is anybody injured? Do you need an ambulance?
Kelly has the most wonderful disposition. She sits there, grinds away day in, day out, 12-hour shifts without one complaint, without one bad word. Not only that, she takes care of the officers like they're her own family.
The 2023 Patrol Officer of the Year went to Jeremy Herman.
So the reason for the stop, when I was behind you, you drove almost off the roadway twice.
Jeremy Herman is a special young man. We've been able to have several conversations with him through the last few years about what it takes to become a great police officer. I see a young man who's out there trying every day, making arrests, making good, solid arrests, and trying to become great.
Detective of the Year was presented to Philip Young.
Do you want to talk to me?
I think Phil's won this award like 3 or 4 times already. Definitely our most experienced investigator. He's tenacious, He's persistent, he's determined, he's a very hard worker.
Hands behind your back! Behind your back! Hands behind your back! So stand up, check in for weapons. We're done.
Detective Sergeant Paul Sorbo was named Command Officer of the Year.
What did I do, man?
What do you mean what you do?
You know what you did.
What did I do?
You know what you did, homie. Okay, well listen, we'll talk to you about it, but you got a pretty good idea. You got a bunch of stuff going on.
Professional, dedicated, guy cares, he bleeds Shelby Township Police Department, and it's evident in everything he does. Watching his growth over the 9 years has been something that I'm very proud of. He got himself promoted to sergeant, and then soon after that, he starts running our Special Investigations Unit, and he's doing a great job with it.
Congratulations to all those recognized for your achievements in law enforcement. Your contributions to the department's mission go beyond the ordinary call of duty.
So one of the awards that we give out is called the Chief's Award. It's the only award that I actually control, and I do that with Deputy Chief and Captain Barnard. The three of us figure out. And I put it in place when I was brand new chief about a decade ago. We've given out 17 of these awards in 10 years. And one incident where we caught a homicide guy, 5 officers got awards. So if you do the math, we're not giving a lot of these awards out. And this year we decided to give our Chief's Award to a very deserving person, Lieutenant Terrence Hogan, who runs our Detective Bureau. Lieutenant Hogan managed one of the most complex, if not the most complex, investigation in our department's history.
It's a fascinating case, and we know a lot of great detectives out there, and we know a lot of good chiefs, and everybody is impressed when they hear what went into this case.
Yeah, it was crazy. Did you hear that Captain Barnard reading off the stats? There was 1,800 pieces of electronic evidence alone, not counting all the other.
Just the number of search warrants that were executed, I couldn't fathom that.
It was crazy. I used to cringe when I have to ask you to write a search warrant back when I worked in Southfield. And what did he say they wrote? Was it 100 or 70, some crazy?
Yeah, it was upwards of 100 search warrants.
The leadership that was displayed. There's a quote that John Maxwell, he's a leadership guru. I follow him, and he has this quote: "Everything rises and falls on leadership." I can't get it out of my head. Lieutenant Hogan's display of leadership on this case, we took this multiple defendant complex investigation with all these moving pieces everywhere, and he kept it together the entire time. It impressed 2 old dogs like you and I.
We both spent most of our careers back in the Detective Bureau.
Yeah.
And you're not an easy man to impress. But the work that went into this case and the leadership and the direction and coordination that was given by Lieutenant Hogan was second to none. We said it many times at the awards ceremony, this case could have went sideways at any time, but he wouldn't let it, and I have great confidence in him.
I agree, the award is very deserving, and I hope he wears it proudly. I saw him the other day carrying it around. I said, "You get a ribbon with that too." And he said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, go see Wendy." So he was smiling and add to. He looks like a Spanish general with all.
He doesn't wear his uniform often, but when he does, he looks good.
And he looks good. I agree. He had a white shirt going and everything. I was proud of him. So our selection committee. There's been some question how we choose our big winners. We have 5 yearly winners: Officer of the Year, Command Officer of the Year, Detective of the Year, Civilian Employee of the Year, and our ComTech, which is our dispatcher. So we select 5 different ones. And there's been some question how you do this. The chief is picking his favorites, blah, blah, blah. How do we pick our award winners? Where does the process start?
So so early 2024, I'll put something out to all our employees. Anybody can nominate any staff member for any of the awards. We put it out to the platoons also, so the platoons, the lieutenant or the sergeant will make a nomination from the platoon, but we get many nominations.
Yep. So we get the nominations, and then what do we do?
We pretty much close the door, light the fire, and we have it out.
Yep.
And we don't always see eye to eye.
Correct. When the Pope is selected, they start burning the black wood. We close our door, Captain Barnard, you and I, and we've had many in-depth discussions, and our ultimate goal is to choose the most deserving person. I'm very confident we do that. I know last year we had a big dispute about one of the things, whatever, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we always come to an agreement and decide this is what's best for the individual and the police department. And I'm very proud of that process. This isn't Bob Shelide or Jason Schmidler or Captain Barnard selecting who they want. The 3 of us are going to do what's best for this police department and select the most deserving person. And I'm very proud of that. And we've never once played favorites with anybody. And I'll confess something. Some of the people that won the awards in my past weren't my favorites. I can tell you that right now. However, when I saw they did a great job, we recognized them. And we will always do that and stay above the pettiness that goes around some places.
Chief, we spend hours doing this. We just don't spend minutes, and it's taxing. And we've been through the process many times. So I'm very confident in the system. The system works, and nobody's going to argue with the faces on those awards.
No, I agree with you. When I took over almost a decade ago, I wanted each person who's ever gotten an award, their name to be in our lobby. So Patty has a nice plaque with all the award winners each year, and there'll be, I think you're up there a few times, aren't you?
That was back in the 90s. That was a long
I
time
don't care
ago.
when it was. It's up there. Something to be always proud of. People walking the lobby. I always see people walking around looking in our lobby and seeing those names up there. And a couple of our award winners, Sorbo and Young, these guys have more awards than Tom Brady has Super Bowl championships.
They do, but that's not why they do it, and they're very humble about the process. But you know what? Shame on us if we don't recognize them. They do great things.
I agree with you 100%. Deputy Chief, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Chief.
Folks, you've been watching our Straight Talk for March, our big award ceremony. I hope you enjoy the program, and we'll see you next month.